I'm live. Okay. I know I'm going live a little bit sooner than I normally would, because normally I'd be going live at like 4, somewhere between 3:30 and 4. But I've been informed by my dad that we are going to have to be leaving a little bit sooner than normal. So I'm going to have to, we'll be leaving at least about an hour earlier than normal because my mom and my sister both have a Mother's Day banquet they're going to at our church. Our church is sponsoring a Mother's Day banquet tonight, and my mom and my sister are both going. Me and my dad are staying home, and we're just gonna have some leftover pizza that we had on Monday that we brought home on Monday to eat. So that we ate on Monday. So that's. Oh, sorry guys, I just farted. Hey, Ped. So that's the reason why I'm going live a little bit earlier than normal. But I decided I'm gonna do it. I wanted to do it again. I wanted to go live, so I did it. So I'm like, I'm going live. So, yep, wrestling week in review. Well, I think we can pretty much say that last night's. Oh, Ped, you want to put a like on the stream? I don't know. Besides the triple threat matches on Raw, there wasn't much really to get me excited. It felt like a Vince McMahon booked show, even with the triple threat matches, because, I mean, the right person won, which is obviously Seth Rollins. It's okay. Anybody that comes on to this live stream that wants to they can like if they want to. They don't have to like the live stream, but it might be nice. It would be nice. I got 3 likes now, and I had like 3 people, so looks like there's at least one other person besides just Sean and Ped, but then again, that might be Danny. Yeah, I know, but the fact that the last 2 Raws following a pay-per-view sucked, and we all know what the Raw after WrestleMania looked like, and that was just a pile of dog crap. And that was basically just a pile of dog crap. Like, seriously. Hey, Danny. We were just talking about how Monday Night Raw this week sucked. I mean, the Raw after WrestleMania, that, like I just said, that show sucked like dog crap. This past Monday Night Raw, while not as bad, it was still like raunchy as hell. And I'm not afraid to say it, okay? There's this one guy that I am subscribed to on YouTube, JD from New York 206. A lot of people get on him because of his incessant, because of the way he just yells all the time and yells and screams all the time. But I think it's because he's just passionate about wrestling, and he's one of the few that's willing to give you his honest opinion on wrestling, no sugarcoating necessary. And I feel like that's what I'm gonna give every time I go live for something like this, and I just want to talk about wrestling. I'm just gonna give it to you. I'm just gonna give you my personal, honest opinion. Raw sucked this week. NXT was good as it's been. NXT's actually been doing good recently. I mean, there have been a few NXTs that have actually been better than the Monday Night Raws that we've been getting, which is surprising. And then NXT. Now let's talk about AEW this week. What? I get why Tony Khan has been advertising. I get why Tony Khan was advertising this past Wednesday night's Dynamite. I understand why he was doing it. It seemed like 3 weeks before the show even happened, he was advertising it like a free pay-per-view, as like a pay-per-view for free on AEW television. Like, and it felt like that. Every match was actually good. And there's another YouTube channel. There's another YouTube channel that I subscribe to. It's called WrestleLamia. WrestleLamia, they do a bunch of wrestling news and rumors videos, as well as on on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. In addition to their wrestling news and rumors, they do a sort of and the day after a pay-per-view or PLE, they do a recap of the show. And so on Tuesdays, they'll do a recap of Raw. With Thursdays, they'll do a recap of AEW Dynamite. And Saturdays, they'll do a recap of SmackDown. Like the good, the bad, and the downright ugly, which I actually think is a good idea. Because, and their recap of this past week's AEW Dynamite show had nothing bad, nothing downright ugly, and from what a lot of people were saying in the comments is that that's only like, it's been very rare that one of their videos had one of their recaps of AEW or one of their recaps of Raw or SmackDown or AEW have any like bad or downright ugly. So the fact that WrestleLamia had nothing bad to say about this week's AEW Dynamite, that is saying something about the show. And that this show was probably the best. This was probably the best AEW Dynamite of the year so far. Because every match seemed good. None of the matches really seemed like filler matches. None of them really seemed like they made sense. All the matches seemed to make at least some sense. At least with the double Jeopardy match between Rey Fenix and Claudio Castagnoli, at least the match, they gave us a reason as to what, they gave us an explanation as to what the double Jeopardy part of the match means. That means that whoever won the match would get a shot at his opponent's title. So Claudio won the match, so he now gets a shot at the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships with a partner of his choosing. And we know he's going to pick someone from the Blackpool Combat Club, either Wheeler Yuta or Bryan Danielson. I just can't see Jon Moxley being that guy to go down there with him. Maybe Wheeler Yuta, because he's the only other guy in the Blackpool Combat Club with a Ring of Honor title. So maybe that's what they do. Maybe that's the way they go, is they just do it that way. But I don't know when that title match is going to happen. But I could see them going and claiming the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships because they've been booked pretty good. I mean, I don't know. No, AEW was good. The most surprising. But then again, it wasn't even surprising considering what we were getting in the weeks leading up to this match. The steel cage match between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. The match was great. It was basically what you could expect from a... Hey, Cole. Okay, Ped, I don't know what your deal is, but you don't be a Debbie Downer on AEW. Okay, this week's show was great. Okay, you can't convince me it wasn't. You can't convince me that it wasn't. Every match was good. None of the matches seemed filler. I respect your opinion, but your opinion... I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to get into an argument with you, but I just feel like AEW was good. You're saying that AEW was terrible this week, and I'm saying it was good, and that's just the way it's going to have to be. I guess it's going to be. Oh. what I'm drinking today. Crush grape. But yes, I do respect your opinion, even though I may not like your opinion. I know, and I'm giving it to you exactly the way I see it. The way I see it and my honest opinion. Now, that steel cage match was great. And, I mean, the way that they have been sort of teasing it, when I found out what happened, I was like, okay, I am a little surprised and then a little bit not surprised because Don Callis has been acting pretty shady as of recently. I don't know if Danny's still here. Or not, but Don Callis has been acting pretty shady as of recently. And then when he attacked Kenny Omega in the steel cage match, I was like, okay, that just basically confirms everything that we've been seeing, because we've been seeing Don Callis acting shady as of late. And now that he's turned on Kenny Omega, it makes me wonder, was he actually the one involved in that angle that took out the Young Bucks like a month or so ago? Yeah, Badass Vince. Yeah, was he the one that was actually involved in that angle that took out the Young Bucks like a month or so ago? To be honest, we all thought that it was obviously the Blackpool Combat Club because they were feuding with them at the time. But then again, you also think, okay, what's Don Callis' endgame? What was he up to? Because he was acting pretty suspicious on that episode of Dynamite and ever since then. But then but just hear me out here. What if this all leads to Don Callis becoming the new manager for the Blackpool Combat Club? What if Don Callis is the one that replaces William Regal as the manager for the Blackpool Combat Club, and we get Hirooki Takahashi or whoever that Japanese dude that suddenly out of nowhere decided to just aid the Elite? Yeah, that's suspicious to me as well, because the fact that they had that guy just come in and save the Elite out of nowhere without really any explanation as to why he was suddenly on the Elite side, knowing that him and Bryan Danielson have respect for each other, that just seemed a little too suspicious to me. And now I think I now know where they might lead. They might go with that. They might have Don Callis go and say that he is now joined up with the Blackpool Combat Club, and then he brings Takeshita, and brings him over to the Blackpool Combat Club. And this basically leads to, obviously this is all leading to Blood and Guts. That's what this is leading to. When we get that, I don't know. But this could lead to, obviously, Hangman Adam Page is obviously going to come back, and he's going to back the Elite because it just makes more sense than anything else, due to his immense history with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. And then but then it's still 4-on-5, and there is a New Japan star that has been rumored for, I guess, maybe a few weeks now or so, that has been rumored for a AEW debut. Ibushu or whatever his name is. There have been rumors that he could come to AEW, he could back up the Elite, and then they get 5-on-5 at Blood and Guts. The Elite with, I guess, whoever the guy is, I can't remember his name to save my life, but he was rumored for an AEW debut, and it could happen. Honestly, that's how I see it going down. I don't know why, but that's just how I see it going down, is they have Don Callis. And to be completely honest, that could be what they could wind up doing is they could actually reveal that yes, it was the Blackpool Combat Club that attacked the Young Bucks, but that it was Don Callis that ordered the hit. It was them acting on his behalf, basically. It was the Blackpool Combat Club taking out the Young Bucks on his behalf, that would make more sense. That would make more sense. I mean, the fact that he just is betraying the Elite, and the fact that the Blackpool Combat Club could have easily taken out the Young Bucks, and he easily could have been the one behind it all and just orchestrating the entire plan himself, while at the same time trying to make it seem like he still is on the Elite side. That would make more sense than just about anything else I can think of. Me neither, Pat. I don't know who he is. That guy, New Japan guy that's been rumored for an AEW debut soon. I don't know who he is. I can't remember his name anymore right now. Now, yeah, Takeshita is the guy's name. SmackDown tonight was good. I don't know how good it was because I was watching it, and the two triple threat matches, just like on Raw, the two triple threat matches were good. They were really good. AJ Styles versus Edge versus Rey Mysterio was good. All three of them have history with each other, so it made sense that they would put all three of these guys together. Yeah, I mean, I have AEW. I have AEW.com on one of my Google Chrome search engines. So I actually do know who's on AEW's roster. And what's interesting on AEW's official website that WWE apparently doesn't do is they actually give you a stat line. They give you the stats of each wrestler and how many matches they've won this year, like how many singles matches, how many, they're like if a certain wrestler like Jade Cargill, she's like 3-0 or something in singles matches, 2-0 and something in tag team matches, and like 1-0 or 2-0 and something in trios matches. But WWE apparently doesn't do that. They apparently don't keep track of how many wins and losses their wrestlers have. Like, I mean, interestingly enough, Nyla Rose apparently has the most matches of all the AEW women on their roster. Nyla Rose has the most matches and has the most wins of any AEW woman in the company. And apparently Britt Baker doesn't. And she was the women's champion for a long time, and I feel like she's been in the company just as long. Like, weird. But then again, there's also the fact that there's like AEW Dark, AEW Elevation that they had, which meant that certain AEW superstars could wrestle like 2-3 times a week. I mean, she basically is the Roman Reigns of AEW right now because she's held that TBS title for now like for at least a year, maybe a little less than that, because I can't remember when they actually debuted the title, but it was like around this time in like the summer months of 2022, or when I can't remember exactly when they debuted that title, but it's been like at least 10, 11 months, maybe a year, almost a year. Tonight's SmackDown was good. The two triple threat matches were good. I think Rey versus AJ Styles versus Edge was the better triple threat match, but both of them were good. And they did a spot in the Sheamus, Bobby Lashley, and AJ and Austin Theory triple threat match. They did a spot that was very similar to what happened at Backlash, where Bobby Lashley, I think, speared Sheamus Austin Theory dumps Bobby Lashley out of the ring and tries to cover Sheamus for the 1-2-3, but this time it didn't work. Because apparently that's what happened at the Backlash. Bronson Reed was speared. Bobby Lashley spears Bronson Reed. Austin Theory clears out the ring, takes out, I can't remember if it was either Bronson Reed was speared by Lashley or Lashley was, I think, was in that power bomb or splash by Bronson Reed. I can't remember. Whichever one, Austin Theory clears the ring out of the other guy, covers for the 1-2-3. They did that here on SmackDown. Thank goodness Austin Theory did not get the 3 that time. And I think the 2 people that won their triple threat matches were the right people. Now, I would have liked Edge to win, and I would have liked for Edge to be the one to go into the finals and face Seth Rollins, because they've had more history together than Seth has had with AJ Styles. Because if I'm not mistaken, they've only faced each other like maybe once or twice. Woo! 7 likes. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the 7. I mean, Seth needs to win this title, I think, more. But now, I think it's now a given that Seth is winning, because with AJ Styles, why would you have AJ Styles win the match and then move him and his group over to Monday Night Raw when they just moved over to SmackDown? You could have easily just had Edge win the match, Edge win, represent SmackDown, go win the World Heavyweight Championship, and then just move him over to Raw. He's not a part of a faction or anything. He can just go over to Raw and defend it. And then defend it against Seth Rollins, maybe at SummerSlam, in a title versus career match, which could happen. But then they could also die, but I don't know if that could have worked out. But Edge didn't win, so I'm not mad at AJ Styles winning and representing SmackDown in this tournament. Thanks, Aaron. But I'm not mad at that. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be a great match because both of them are main event level talent. And they can go in the ring for at least 20 minutes. And have that, and that'll be a great match. It'll be a great match. It'll definitely be a good match for sure. Now, we saw some NXT talent today. Just like we saw on Monday night, we saw some NXT talent. We actually saw more NXT talent last night than we did on Monday, because Monday we only saw Zoe Stark and Indy Hartwell. We didn't see Indus Sher. We didn't see, I think, Odyssey Jones. We didn't see J.D. McDonough. We didn't see, I think, any of the other Raw. We didn't see Katana Chance and Caden Carter. But we saw Cameron Grimes have a match against Baron Corbin, which was, I am so shocked. Like, look, going into this match, I knew Cameron Grimes was probably going to win. More than likely. I knew there was a more than likelihood of a chance. I was 80% sure he was going to win the match. What I didn't know was that they were going to have it be a squash match, with Cameron Grimes winning basically in 3 seconds by just hitting his finishing move, the cave-in, and then getting the 1-2-3, just like that. That was weird. That was weird. It was a squash. Look, I'm not going to lie. I have been watching NXT 2.0. I've been watching NXT since about summer, I guess since April or May of 2021. Because my first time actually watching NXT was after WrestleMania 37. And the first AEW NXT, quote unquote, show that I ever watched was NXT In Your House 2021. When they had when Karrion Kross defended his NXT title in a fatal 5-way match. That was great. Raquel Gonzalez defended her NXT Women's title against she defended it against Ember Moon / Athena, now in AEW. And then there was they had a 6-man tag team match that was a winner takes all match with I think it was MSK and Bronson Reed, who was the NXT, I guess, North American title champion at the time. They were pretty much defending their titles simultaneously, all in a 6-man winner takes all match, which MSK and Bronson Reed won the match. Oh man, that was funny. I remember that. I watched that. I watched Friday Night SmackDown. I continue to tell you guys this, and I will continue to tell it. I did not watch WWE until it started coming on Friday nights on Fox. I had not watched WWE until it had debuted on Fox. I hadn't. And then as soon as I watched, I was like, okay, what have I been missing? And now that's basically one of the few things I watch constantly. Whether it's me watching just old matches that WWE uploads to their YouTube channel, or me watching it on TV, or me just watching WrestleManias that I just happen to find on DVD, or that my dad buys on Amazon, off Amazon, or sometimes on eBay. But yeah. But that Grayson Waller match, that Cameron Grimes match was a squash. I don't know if that was meant to if they're burying Baron Corbin now, but I don't know. Yeah. That was a squash match. We also saw Grayson Waller. From NXT on the show tonight. I'm very happy. I'm actually quite intrigued to see where he goes, see what he does, because I can see him being a big deal on SmackDown, especially in the U.S. title picture. I could see him challenging for the U.S. title. I don't know. I think it's, I mean, well, yeah, and apparently we're getting a Grayson Waller effect on Friday night, and I guess they're gonna have AJ Styles, who won the triple threat match, because on Instagram I am subscribed. I follow there's a Instagram account that I follow called Ringside News. They do a lot of news and rumors. They post a lot of news and rumors. They post wrestling news and rumors onto their Instagram story, and I watch and I look at some of them. And one of the stories they had today, they uploaded at some point today, was that their plans for Grayson Waller's TV debut next week. when he does his Grayson Waller effect show, they're gonna have the winner of tonight's main event, last night's main event, AJ Styles, because apparently their original plan was to just have the overall winner of the World Heavyweight Championship be on the show eventually, but they decided, I guess, just to have the guy who won for SmackDown, AJ Styles, be on the show next week, which is going to be interesting considering him and AJ Styles had a match, had a feud on NXT television the end of 2021 into 2022, culminating in a match at New Year's Eve 2022, which was actually not that bad. The feud wasn't that bad either, and we actually did see him on Monday Night Raw a couple of times. So it's not like this is his actual main roster debut. He did make some appearances in late 2021, going into his feud with AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw, and it makes sense. And so I'm already loving that segment for Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah, Ped, Vince is still here. Now, there was something that happened last night, that makes me think that Damage Control is definitely en route for a breakup. After the Bloodline segment ended, Kayla Braxton was backstage. She was, I guess, talking about the segment and about the announcement and that Roman Reigns made. And then Bayley and Damage Control came in and started talking, and Bayley started talking. Hey, and then what happened? And then as Bayley was talking, I could see. I was watching it, and I saw Io's facial expressions, and her facial expressions were of like, she was clearly annoyed by something. She was clearly annoyed by something. I don't know what, but she was clearly agitated in some way. And Bayley was the one that was talking at the time. And so I think what's happening is that Io is maybe a little bit mad at Bayley for costing her Raw Women's Championship match at Backlash. And then tonight, Io, not necessarily, but inadvertently cost them the match. So, I mean, at this point, Damage Control needs to be disbanded. It needs to go. It's not doing any of the three women any favors. I mean, Dakota Kai and Io Sky can still be a tag team because they seem like they have good chemistry. Just take them away from Bayley. Just get them on their own, because Bayley is a good heel on her own. Yeah, I mean, look, I will tell you this. When they were first presented on the main roster, they were presented as credible threats to the women's division. I mean, it was like when the Riot Squad or when Absolution first debuted on the main roster. They were perceived as credible threats to the women's division because they were booked that way. They were booked like they were like they were starting out as like a big deal. And then I guess Paige sort of stepped away from Absolution. We all know what she eventually ended up doing. She was eventually made the GM of SmackDown, which was good for her, because at least she was still able to do something in WWE. Even if she couldn't wrestle anymore, she was still able to at least do that job. And then we all know they eventually split up. So I don't know. But yeah, when Damage Control was first introduced, they were booked pretty good. they were booked pretty good. And I think what I believe happened, what I believe went wrong, was that they didn't win the women's tag team titles in the finals of the women's tag team tournament they had, because I still I still to this day do not know I still to this day do not know why Raquel and Aaliyah won the women's tag team titles in the first place. What was the point of them winning if we knew Damage Control was just going to take the titles off of them in like a week or two? I'm like, I guess you just wanted to give the generic babyface team a win just to send the crowd home happy? That just didn't make much sense to me. Because Raquel and Aaliyah were just a makeshift tag team that were put together in this tournament just because WWE didn't have a slew of women's tag teams. Thanks, Danny. Yeah, Bray Wyatt, I don't know where he is. I don't know where he is. But he's probably gonna eventually be back soon. I don't know, but he should be back when he eventually gets over what I guess his sickness that he has. Hey AP, hey AP's Riot Channel. I'm gonna make you a mod on my channel because I know you but just a standard mod for now. I have like maybe 2 guys on here that I have as manager mods. Danny is one of them. And I think Yost is maybe one of them too, because I trust some of these guys more. Not that I don't trust everybody that comes on here, because almost every single person that comes on here is a person that I know either from another guy's channel or from Matt's channel. And also Danny's just way older than me. Yeah, I trust him. I trust him to get rid of all of the bad seeds, shall we say, on the channel, in the live streams, whenever I go live. But thanks, Danny, for the extra. I know that's you because that's one of the few channels. Because that's one of the gazillion channels. It was okay, minus the fact that Maroney, quote unquote, betrayed me again. Quote unquote, betrayed me again. And now I can't message him on Messenger for some reason because the Facebook account the Facebook page that he had that I was messaging him on says he's no longer available to message. And when I looked his name up, and when I looked that name up, it didn't come up in the search engine when I was looking for him. So I'm thinking maybe he just deactivated that Facebook account. I don't know, but I can't seem to. But it looks like he has at least 2 more Facebook pages. So I'll see if I can message him on any of those. Then there's also Twitter. I've also still got Instagram that I can use to message him on. I can also still message him on Instagram, I'm pretty sure. So, but I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. Oh, and Ped, did you know that I lost all my titles as well? Apparently, a part of the betrayal was Maroney wanted a winner takes all match, where his titles would be put up against my titles. At the time, I was the global champion and the Steiner Match champion, so it was basically my titles against his. Whoever won would get the other one's titles. And so I lost my titles in basically a 2-on-3, 2 out of 3 falls match. Yeah. It's okay. I don't really. Oh, here, just let me Let me get all those notifications off my phone. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Well, all in all, SmackDown was good. Raw, all in all, oh man. Speak of the devil. Well, not the devil, but you know what I mean. Hey, Maroney. I'm surprised you're here. I'm surprised you're here considering what happened last night. Oh, Maroney, now I can ask you a question. What happened to your Facebook page? The one that I was messaging you on Messenger? Did you delete it or something? Did you get rid of it or something? Like I don't yeah. Did you I don't even know what the Oh, okay. Just for clarification, do you mind if I ask why you did that? Because if I'm not mistaken, you still have like two other Facebook pages that I have.
It's 4:00,
Okay.
so you need to go ahead and start
Okay.
getting ready to go and get your stuff checked out if you haven't already gathered up what you want to check out.
Yeah. Okay, is there like one that you have that's like a new one? Do you have one that's a new one? Because I because I know you have like three, from what I know, you had like three Facebook pages. Three Facebook pages, all of them had your name, had your face on it, had your face on it, a picture of you as your profile picture. There's one that says Michael J. Maroney. I wonder if that's you. And then there's another one that says Michael Maroney that has your face on it and like a blue shirt. And like a blue shirt. Yes, I acknowledge you, Maroney, but what was the deal? What was the deal with you and Moxley? Yeah, but what was the deal? Like, what sort of hold does Moxley have on you? For some reason. For some reason, you seem to be drawn to him for some reason. Oh yeah, of course, Badass Vince. Hey, Maroney, it's been a while since you've seen Badass Vince. May I ask why? May I ask why? For God knows what reason, why? After like everything he's done to you. Everything he's done to you. All the things that he has said to you. The things that he said to you on Instagram. In that group chat. That I still clearly remember because he said the same exact stuff to me. I mean, to be completely honest, that sounds exactly like something I would be doing, I would do, and I would think of. I've been planning to. I would do that. I would do that too. Like I would probably do that too. Be thinking of that too. But I just don't. I mean, look, take my titles. I don't really care. But the fact that you had to align yourself with Moxley just to do it, the fact that you felt the need to align yourself with Moxley just to do it, like you didn't have to align yourself with Moxley just to get my titles. You could have just told me, hey, I want to, and yes, you told me you wanted a winner take all match, and I accepted. I just didn't know know that betraying me was a part of the deal. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a part of the deal. You turning on me for Moxley was a part of this deal. That was the bargaining. No, it wasn't so shocking. I mean, he had betrayed me once before for Moxley, so when he did it, I was like, well, I mean, I should have seen it coming, but then I also was a little shocked. Huh. Wow. Considering what he said about you and your family, I'm surprised. I mean, considering what he said about you and about your family, I don't think I could ever forgive somebody for that. I don't think I could ever forgive somebody for that. Like, nobody disrespects me, and nobody disrespects my family. Okay? You may be a forgiving person, but I could never forgive someone that talked shit about my family. I don't think I could ever forgive somebody for that. You may be willing to forgive somebody for that, Maroni, but not me. At least I have a backbone. Okay? Just so you know. When someone talks crap about you and starts talking crap about your family, I wouldn't be so in a hurry to forgive that person just because they have something that could benefit me, just because they might have something that benefits me, like some sort of package deal. Now, I'm gonna have to end this live stream, guys, because it's about time for me to go. So I just gotta, blah, 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 blah. Like, you really care. Like, if you really cared. Yeah, you're basically letting someone who talked crap about you and your family be your friend. Like, when have I ever talked crap about you? When have I ever talked smack about your family? Never, because I would never do that. I don't do that to my friends. I've never done that to a friend. Hell, I wouldn't even do it to a brother. I don't have a brother. I have a family. I have a sister who is so annoying. And if anybody was to ask me, who do you consider a brother since you don't have one? My first answer and my only answer would be you. So go ahead, be a part of the Unholy Alliance. See if I care. Well, I do, but again, it's none of my business anymore because you decided to turn on me. Somebody who considered you a brother. I just hope it was worth it. Maroni. I just hope it was worth it. Well, guys, I'm leaving, and I'm going to have to end this live stream now. I don't know when my next workout live stream will be. I did one this past Thursday, and I hope to be doing one again soon. And so I meant it, Maroni. I meant it. Just so you know. And so Well, bye, Vince. I'll see you guys later. I will see you guys later. And yes, Maroni, I don't have a brother. I have a sister, but I consider you a brother. Just so you know. Bye, guys.